Good morning. I'm higher vibrations and so are you. And this is the Ascension Symptoms for December 21st. Oh wow, that's cool. Yeah, for December 21st, 2021. The winter solstice. Cool. So, first of all, a lot of these experiences that we have in our physical form is they're not always exactly in alignment with what everybody's going through at that same time. However, what's really amazing is often this is true. It has a lot to do with a lot of different factors, but mostly it's that we're all having a similar or the same kind of experience at the same time. And, you know, I don't know about you, but I've spent quite a bit of time going to different doctors and medical professionals to find out what's wrong and come to find out I'm supposedly more healthy than I'd ever have been. And there is no solution to whatever it is that I'm going through. And then it does quickly subside, or I just get used to it once I understand what it is. What is it? We are ascending in our physical form. Essentially, that's what's happening. And that's never happened before. And not just to us as myself in this physical body, but from what I understand ever, which is pretty phenomenal. And when we go through that, there's some things that have to happen. There's some growing pains that occur that help us to reach up to that next step, that next stair on the grand staircase of light. So here we are. Some of the most common and aggravating symptoms right now are dizziness, ear ringing, heart palpitations, body temperature in lack of balance, or just fluctuations like hot cold flashes rather, night sweats, core vibrational things that are going on. Lots of times people lately, including myself, I'm noticing as well, a lot of mouth related, throat and mouth related things, ticking, clicking, tickling, flicking sensations. There have been a lot of oral related injury as well, unfounded injury or strange injury, lots of dental related stuff. What else? We're having these weird tickly, itchy skin kind of stuff. It feels like there's like maybe something touching you very lightly. The hairs on your body being touched or manipulated in some way, and there's nothing there that you can visually perceive, as well as stuff that's underneath the tissue, deep, weird itching. Like, I don't know if any of you have had, like I have, injuries that have, you know, been a deep enough wound or cut, and that you know when it's healing because it's really uncomfortable and you just want to scratch it really bad. The sinus stuff, the popping in the sinuses, as well as in the ear canal and the ear area, lots of flicking and fluttering and popping like bubbles. That's been on and off for a while. I already mentioned the ear ringing, but that's changed in a lot of different ways, where suddenly you will have limited hearing in one ear and a ringing in another ear. There's different octaves going at the same time. So at the beginning stages of my experiences that I noticed, when I started to really notice it and understand what it was, because I've had ear ringing for the longest time, on and off throughout my life, but it was a very consistent and persistent thing where it just didn't stop at all. And it does now in a way that it doesn't bother me, but I guess it's still always there in some way, which is cool. Because I feel compelled, whenever I find the pronounced ringing, I find the compulsion to raise my hands in acceptance of it and let that light message come in. Thank you for everyone who connects and contacts me. You're more than welcome to do it if you haven't. Please, I encourage you to do so. You know, and there's a lot of stuff that's happening to us in this strange experience that is consistent with what everyone else is going through, is the point. And by connecting with another person that is going through the same thing as you are, it's one of the solutions, to be honest. You know, like, none of the things that I do make anything go away. It doesn't solve my ascension symptoms because it's growing pains that need to occur. It may lighten the experience and make it a little bit more tolerable for that moment. And that's one of the things that I do, is that I connect with others like me, other awakening beings who are going through this experience. So at noon, 12 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, we'll be doing another live chat on Guardian of Orion's channel. We will be doing a live event and a meditation before a chat. Those group meditations were really where I started to find a way to be empowered and to connect with other people like me, to have that ability to be validated and to understand that I really am not crazy, that I'm not the only one going through these strange things. You know, and the other thing that I really try to do is to use meditation like the one we're going to do tomorrow, or even just by myself. Most often, in most people's lives, we're really busy people, right? We have things we got to do. We got work, we got family, or whatever it is. Maybe it's difficult to meditate. But if I give myself 5 minutes each day to just quiet myself and center myself, and to recharge is really what we're doing. We're accepting the light through from the all, from the one, from God, down and through our heart chakra, and just charging ourselves back up as we connect the light down into the core of Mother Gaia, into the core of the planet. And it circles through like this beautiful double helix or figure eight. And this energy recharges and helps us to be, just to be. And so to meditate at least 5 minutes each day is doable. You can do that in between whatever it is that you're doing. Everybody gets breaks. And that's a time that we could do that. And it's so helpful that, at least for me, I found that once doing that for a short time, I found I enjoyed it so much that I did much more than 5 minutes each time. At times now I have to really pay more attention because I could just meditate all day long sometimes. And the other thing is to listen to my body. Our bodies speak to us. Our bodies are telling us always what needs to happen, what we need to do for her or him or it, or whatever you want to call it. Our bodies have their own language, and we spent so much of our time ignoring those things. At least I have. And at the beginning, I found that my body didn't trust me. I didn't listen to it before. It was like this neglected child that just didn't expect to be heard, unless they had a violent tantrum, right? And now that I've started to listen over the past few years, I've gone from carnivore to virtually vegan. I've gone from spending my time in fast food drive-thrus to everything is made at home, organic, and not that I'm telling you to do this. This is simply what the path that I found as a result of the messages that my body had been giving me all those years that I started to finally listen to. Some of the other symptoms that we need to talk about is the activations of our, it's the base, but just as where our head or skull meets our neck, there's this spot there, this little dimple, I guess. And a lot of people are having this experience where there's some type of a bump or a bubble or an experience is occurring there. And that's been happening on and off for me for a little while. And that's where our dream chakra really is, right? That's where our soul connects with our body. That's where we are connected to that fourth dimensional space. A place that we've been going every night for so long. You know, that's another ascension symptom that we need to talk about is the sleeplessness. The inability to sleep, or when we do, waking in exhaustion, thinking that we should definitely have felt more rested based on how much sleep we supposedly got, and instead feeling exhausted in a deeper, more profound way, perhaps. A soul exhaustion. And that has a lot to do with that experience in the fourth dimensional space. We're doing a lot of work out there. And speaking of work, there's been this thing happening for a while where we have been, in our own individual way, going through a dark night of the soul experience, right? Most of us, I can't think of a single story that I've been told that a person I've talked to who the beginning of their story didn't start with some type of dark night of the soul. If you don't know what that is, I'll put a link in here and please look into it, as well as the solution to it, which is called shadow work, looking directly at it face on, head on, giving an empowered perspective to what's occurring. Not only does it help it in its moment and speed it up in some way, I don't know, like alleviate it really and make it easier to do. But for me, when I didn't use some kind of tool, it was like it was just coming out of the sky and hitting me without any kind of warning. So we all started, most likely everybody, not everyone though, our spiritual journey, our awakening period that we're in right now, with some sort of dark night of the soul, a shedding of perceptions, of ideas of what reality is, a shedding of relationships. How many people have we said goodbye to without really saying goodbye? That have happened over the course of several years and months and even weeks. Well, now we're doing that again. And we had been, I suppose. There's layers and layers that we've been doing. But what we're doing right now is not our own work. Every time in between those spaces, we've been given this break, this beautiful reprieve, this space to accept, to be in a place of peace, and to be okay, and to remember why we're doing this work, right? So then when it picks back up again, it feels even more like, oh, it's back, you know. And what we're doing now, however, is not our own work. There are a lot of things that were left behind, a lot of things that were left unresolved, unacknowledged, unseen. And what we're meant to do now, those who've chosen this mission, not everybody has chosen it, but if you're finding yourself suddenly going through these weird, you almost feel like you're bipolar, and just doing these weird things, and all of a sudden feeling like you're crawling out of your body and just going crazy in some way, and just and just need to like belt out some kind of noise, or just run for some reason, or just jump and just it's strange. What we're doing is beautiful, is that we are experiencing and participating in these experiences that weren't seen before from those who have long passed. From ancestral work to the work of someone, so I don't know how you're related to them, how we know or whatever, but we're doing it. And the more that we acknowledge them the way that they are, without judging them, without deciding what they are, good, bad, or indifferent, just that they were, that they are, that they had been, and thanking them for their work. And now it's time for you to go and release. This is a message that I've been made to share a handful of times. And I'm understanding more and more that this is something that we're being given in this mission in a series of waves. Again, we need those reprieves, right? Those breaks, those moments of solace and okayness, so we can take a breath, recharge, and be ready for the next quote-unquote work day, right? And that's what's happening right now. You're not going crazy. It feels like it, but you're not. You're doing amazing. And you're not doing this alone. We are all going through this, and we do all feel rather out of sorts at the very least. But you're okay. Just remember, it's not yours. This is not your baggage. This is not yours to filter through. This is not yours to absorb and collect and hold on to. It's not. All we need to do is acknowledge without judgment and release. For when we judge, we hold the thing in place. we imprison it to be with us for all time, until we at least, at long last, release it. So, I don't know about you, but the sooner the better for me. So I try to do that as soon as it comes, if I can. I can't say that I'm perfect in any of these things. I just understand it logically. And as I experience, I fumble through it. You know, I do. And I'm not perfect. But I'm okay with that. Because I don't think anyone is. And in our flawed, inadequate, and defective form is perfection. We are a perfect mess of perfection. And you got this. You'd be surprised at how beautiful and how perfect it looks from the outside. From this point, from this seat where I'm in, you're doing amazing. And the fact that you have taken up this call, taken this mission, accepted it with an open heart and open arms and open minds is so beautiful. It's so pure. You are service to others. I also am a service to others oriented being, and I get it. Just remember, if the servant does not take care of themselves, they can no longer serve. So please, listen to your body. If you need extra sleep, please try to find a way. If you need to go on a binge and eat a lot of food, even though it's strange for you, do it. If you are in this place where you don't feel like a meal is a good idea for a couple of days or whatever, that's where you're at. I go on unplanned fasting all the time. You know, I went a month a couple of weeks ago. I ended a couple of days ago. And it wasn't expected or planned. It just happened. It never is planned. And then all of a sudden, I am like, I need to eat everything, get out of my way. And then I'm back to, I don't know. And that's okay. That's just where we are. Allow yourself to be. Because truly you are perfect. Where you are at this very moment. Nothing is ever a mistake. And remember, you're here as a being of light. Light is nothing but the purest of love. And we are connected by that love. We are one. And I feel you. I know what you're going through. And I'm sorry that it hurts. But I am so grateful that you're doing it. Thank you for your service. Don't give up. We almost got this. We're around and home. I'm sending you so much love. I hope to see you at the meditation. And if you can't, you can always watch it in the replay. Those large meditations are always so powerful. I hope you're having a lovely journey. Thank you. I hope blessings.